This letter is intended for John Oliver, hostess mostess of Last Week Tonight. My name is Mark Balayan. I'm a student at Boise State University in beautiful Boise, Idaho. I moved here recently from Pasadena, California, and upon my arrival, I was comforted by the realization that there was, in fact, an exclamation point after the word library. I have been following your show from the beginning, and I must commend your writer's ability to bring light to important and often touchy subjects using a nice balance of satire and mostly tasteful jokes. The intent of this message is to recommend a topic for one of your shows in April. Before getting into that subject, I want to bring light upon a social trend. Now, when you read that the city of Boise has a population of 200,000 people, you may say that that is a large number, but you'd carry on with your day. When you consider that China's birth rate is a Boise every 5 days or so, again, you cannot imagine how many people that is, even though that is a shocking figure. When you hear the news about a single American soldier losing their life in Iraq or Afghanistan, you can understand that pain because you can understand a family losing a loved one. But when you realize that this situation has happened close to 8,000 times, then you don't really want to think about the pain and suffering involved. The same applies for history. Oftentimes when we hear of huge totals of people dying, we cannot possibly understand the pain and suffering involved. We get lost in the numbers. When I tell you that 1.5 million people were killed during the Armenian genocide, if you weren't impacted by it directly, then that is something that is easier to just brush off and not think about. But when you put into perspective that 1.5 million people is about the population of Idaho, if today everyone in Idaho just disappeared, then that would be cause for some concern. Unfortunately, we live in a country that has fallen into that trend. To date, there are numerous countries that have accepted the Armenian genocide. Now, to be clear, in this case, accepted literally means that they have publicly acknowledged that there was, in fact, a systematic attempt by the Ottoman Empire to destroy an entire race. They have accepted that my ancestors were killed and that our history has been devastated at the hands of the Ottoman Turks. The two main contenders that are absent from that list of countries are Turkey, of course, and the United States of America. Turkey's denial of their history is similar to the United States denying that slavery occurred, or the Germans saying that no one of Jewish descent was harmed during World War II. American presidential campaigns have become a broken record to Armenians, who are promised over and over again that with their vote, they will get the justice and acceptance that they demand. But, just like their presidential predecessors, the G-word, genocide, is never used in association with the events of 1915. There are many reasons for this, mostly dealing with the Turkish and American relations. Turkey sits strategically south of Russia and north of Iran and the rest of the Middle East. Military bases in historic Armenian lands aid in American efforts in the region, and accepting genocide and placing responsibility on their ally would harm American relations with Turkey. However, this violation of human rights has gone on long enough. This year, April 24th marks a very different commemoration for Armenians, as it is the 100th anniversary of the beginning of the Armenian genocide. To date, general knowledge about the Armenian genocide is minimal to none. With more attention to the facts of history, we can let more people know about the truth about the first genocide of the 20th century. Continuing to ignore the facts about this genocide is the exact reason why war criminals like Hitler and Pol Pot were able to even consider their respective crimes against humanity. Sitting back and not giving enough attention to these atrocities led to more and more suffering, as we see in genocides today. That being said, I would like to ask that you cover the news about the Armenian genocide during your show in April. Help bring light to a genocide that has been overlooked for an entire century. Today, 43 states have accepted the Armenian genocide. However, the federal government has not. I believe that with enough attention, we can change that. I am more than willing to assist in preparation of this program in any way that I possibly can. Please feel free to contact me at the Twitter handle below. I hope to hear from you soon. My sincerest regards, Mark Sarkis Balyan.